Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Factorio Space Age, where we are coming on the 27th video already. Now if I check, if I save the game, just a quick and then let's have a look. This game has now been going on for 64.5 hours, which is by now usually like I can finish the base game. At this point I would have long finished it, you know? But yeah, not so much with Factorio Space Age. Anyway, we are running low on iron ore in our different mining areas. We don't have a ton of it, and unfortunately the stuff that we do see on the map is honestly quite far away, which means we need to expand, and that's not something I am looking forward to. But to make things easier for ourselves, we are going to start doing some clearing using artillery. Now artillery requires a few different things. It requires refined concrete, tungsten plates, processing units and iron gear wheels, and as a result we are going to go to Volcanus. Volcanus is on its way, so I need to get rid of all of my stuff quick. We have landed on Volcanus. New science is going up. We have more than enough, actually. This is really nice to see. And I need to turn on personal logistics, and I guess what we need to do is we need to let's see, let's go to Novice. Let's go over to our drop-off point for the sciences. And we are going to go and copy this area, and then we are going to go ahead and paste that right down over here. Now we don't have those chests automated, but we need 9 in total. So I'll make those, and then we can have the similar setup as what we have over there. Like I arrive, all of this stuff has or is close to me, I guess, and then we'll keep going from there. Now we need to make artillery, and that is in military stuff. What do we make this in? It does not say, but I imagine a foundry would do a pretty good job of it. We are not currently requesting foundries, but we can. There we go. We'll ask for 20, because why not? And then we'll set that up somewhere. So we need tungsten plates and refined concrete. Now refined concrete is being made over here. We don't get sticks. Why don't we get really? Am I this dumb? Am I really that dumb? Because that would be incredible. That would be super stupid. But I guess I am. I don't know. That is ridiculous that I haven't seen that until now. Anyway, we have foundries. Let me just quickly check if we can in fact make those things over here. No, we cannot. Alright, that is good to know. We will just have to use our basic assembling machines. And let's see, we are making the tungsten plates over here. We have blue chips over there. What else did we need? Refined concrete and iron gear wheels. Iron gear wheels we can get from somewhere else. In the meantime, we will also get rid of these useless poles over here. They're not doing anything, they're not contributing anything. This thing is still getting power from there. Perfect. Alright, so I guess this would be a really nice place to make it. Right, so we'll we don't need a ton, but let's go for 10, I suppose, so that we have a decent backup. Right, we need blue computer chips. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and put a splitter in here, underground belt, and then a splitter, I mean. Alright, we'll go ahead and put that on the side. We need tungsten plates, which are not coming through a lot, I guess. Are we making any? No, we're not making any productivity modules, but that would be nice to have on here. We could also check out, because we have got access to over here. Oh wow, yeah, okay, that makes sense, huh? That explains a fair bit. I guess we need to expand to another territory. Anyway, for now, in this current moment, I guess I will set up a splitter. We'll put a splitter in right about there, so we can go left, and then we can go like this. And then we need to have a little look. Alright, so we could go over here. So this belt. And this one goes in that direction, I think. This thing can come out over here and then go like that. Perfect. Like I said, we don't need an endless supply of this, right? So that's going to be fine. I do need to be a little bit smart because I need to have 4 inputs. I need to redesign this a little bit, I think. Anyway, we are making everything we need, so I'll just set this up and I'll be right back. Artillery is now set up, but we have run into a small problem in that, well, the accumulated charge is slowly refilling, but my entire factory was dead for a second, so we need more power. We could expand this, I suppose. It's not something I particularly want to be doing, however, so I think what we want to do is we just want to keep building areas like this. However, I am not currently making solar panels, so that is the next thing we will be building here. For that we need copper plates, steel plates and electronic circuits. Now electronic circuits we have over here. Steel should also be made, oh yeah, it's being made over here. And copper we can relatively easily make with a foundry over here. Right, so that is okay. We can also, yeah, okay, I guess we'll do it right about there. That is a lot. What is, oh, I see. I was not careful enough in my selection of things, and I have angered the worm that is neighboring our territory. Hopefully it will stay content with just destroying what is there, and it's not going to go after all of the other stuff, because that would be unfortunate. Alright, so we don't need a ton of solar panel production, but I am just going to go ahead and put down 4 of these. And the reason I say we don't need a ton of it is because, well, we simply are going to paste a little bit every once in a while, but definitely not all the time. So this will have to do. Right, that is one thing. Steel can be brought down from over here. We have been making it, and we have been probably shipping it by robots in different directions, but I think it's about time, right, that we do something with that. And in a little bit more of a proper Factorio way, which is by belt. Alright, so we could go over here, and that will be nice. Holy, come on, there we go. That is so weird. Alright, so we need the inputs, of course. We are also not producing all of these inserters, so that's another thing that we could be doing. Alright, and then we need copper. Now we are making copper out of these areas, and I don't think that there is a place where we are making actual copper plates rather than something else. Like, for the most part, we're making copper cables immediately out of here, so right, we need to put a solar panel tag here so I can more easily find it again. Well, yeah, we should be able to relatively easily make some copper plates directly out of here. Yeah, we'll turn it around. That stuff is coming right there. We'll need another thing like that. And then we need to be making an underground belt right there. As well as here. So that we can then put an underground belt right there. Right there. Right there. And then from here, I guess we'll go underground right about. Oh, that works out. Nice. Alright, like that. We'll hook that up. And then I'll be right back. Next up would be accumulators, and for that we need iron plates and batteries. Now for the batteries we need sulfuric acid, which we can pump straight from the ground, which is super useful. Unfortunately, it seems we also need more pump jacks, because we are simply not producing enough here anymore. This tank is entirely empty. They're all working at full speed, so we need to just hook up more of these things. Wow, we are going to be making those accumulators right about here, I think. We could actually make a little row over here. About 4 is going to do me just fine, I think. So we're just going to hook that up. Actually, these need to be batteries instead. Right, where's the battery? Supposed to be in here somewhere. Right? Oh, we cannot make batteries there, I guess. Batteries are made in chemical plants, yes, okay. So we'll make a couple of those. 6, I guess. We'll put them in a row here. We're going to turn that into batteries, and then the batteries are going to go over here, and then we're going to turn some of this stuff, like we have iron plates over here that we can borrow, right? Turn that into accumulators. Batteries are being produced, accumulators are being produced, they are being put into boxes, into stacks of 1. And at the bottom here I also decided to automate these medium electrical poles, because apparently we were not doing that yet. However, there is the slight issue of also not having any cables in the robot network, so that is what we're going to fix next. Just like that, and robots will be able to pick them up, and we will have basically the ability to copy paste this design that I was doing earlier. I guess we'll have to copy paste it from here again, because my blueprint book has gone to waste. So we'll just copy it, and then we'll that's not what we want. That's not the design, so we cannot just run about with it. That's okay. We'll copy paste this a bunch of times, like so, and of course we will need to hook this up to the power network, but we'll be good to go in terms of the power generation. Oh crap. I did something to anger the worm. Let's hope we'll be okay. Alright, maybe then we'll get rid of this entire stack. Anyway, there are a few more problems I need to fix. Mainly, we don't have the calcite coming in anymore, and we have the problem with the tungsten ore. So we need to take out a new territory, a new worm, and bring the tungsten ore down over here. So I'm guessing we'll take this territory because it is easier to slot that in. Well, I think our problems here are solved. I made a tungsten patch The worm here is dead, so we can safely do that. We have his trail over here still in rock form. But yeah, I made a belt going all the way over here, so we are making tungsten carbide again, as well as tungsten plates. Now we need to do a thing. Actually, I need to go back into the map. Volcanus rocket here. Let's pause it for a second. We're going to request another thing. We are going to need some tungsten plates. I guess how much can go into rocket capacity is 250. Sure, okay, that's good. And we are going to ask for artillery turrets. We're going to ask for 40, I guess. Right, this one is stopped at Volcanus, so we're going to add those in here. And then we also have to ask for those things in here. Let's see, this should be 500. Here we need to ask, let's see, item count for the same of 0 equals 0. And I guess we need to put an item count here for artillery turrets as well, though that is of a lesser importance, but I guess this should be in here just for completionist sake. We'll add that here as well, and then here it equals 0. Alright, perfect. With that set up, we are going to go to Novice, where we have this thing, where we will request $500 of those, as well as 40 of these. And with that, I think I am done here. So we are going to go back to that platform, and then we're going to go back to Novice, because there we can set up some artillery turrets. Well, first of all, we need to set up explosives and all of that. That will be a whole different thing. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. I just realized we also need calcite up in here. So we are going to ask for calcite. We need that for artillery shells. So, let us see. Where is the calcite? Come on, it cannot be this difficult. Anyway, I'll add the calcite and then you'll see me on Novice. Well, we had a slight problem in that I could not, apparently, by robot transport these artillery guns. For some reason they just are not being picked up, which is really, really strange. So I guess we would need a transport belt and stuff like that over here. But for now I manually shot a bunch of rockets into the sky, and I think that will yeah, serve us for quite some time to come. So I don't think we'll have much of a problem there. In the meantime, let's get rid of that thing, and then we are on our way to Novice. But yeah, in the meantime, I decided to double the amount of space amount of silos that I have, so that we can now send up 8 rockets at a time when things are requested, which I think is really good, because yeah, this is all backed up. Like, we have the means to produce more, right? So that's what we're going to do. Meanwhile, we were again running low on electricity, so I decided, well, let's build a few more of these substations. I'll just make sure that I drop to the planet before doing too much here, because I will lose my opportunity. I'm going to copy this one again as well, because at this point... Oh man, really? Alright. yeah, I think we just need more power of everything. So we'll just do 3 fields like that. Later on, when we have cliff explosives, we can just make some stuff over here. And then that will be fine. We could put a field or 2 maybe in over here. Yes, we can. And it's also connected. Perfect. So we'll do that. I guess we will... we are being shot down, which is good, not bad. Put one there in the center, I guess. Oh, and all of this stuff is coming down with me, which is great. Yeah, at some point, you know, unloading all of this stuff becomes an issue. So we are going to need... Oh, this is actually a perfect moment to test our new system. So let's turn this on. That, and not the other ones. Look at that. Robots now only have to fight this short distance. And some robots are still on the way to help out, I suppose. Ah, but look at that. This is super fast. That is just super nice. I'm loving it. Not quite there yet, but we are well on our way. Meanwhile, we have a problem in Volgora, in that this belt is completely backed up with iron gear wheels. And the other one is completely backed up with steel. So that is not great, but I cannot fix it from a distance. I'll have to do that by hand, unfortunately. Now, in the meantime though, because it's not essential at the moment, we can start working on explosives, because what we need to make here is we need artillery shells. For that we just need explosives, calcite, tungsten plates and radars. So radars we are also already automatically making. Not in great quantities, but that means this should be easy, because we have coal. All we need to do is get water, and water, well, it's not close by, but it's not far away at least. So that is perfect. And we'll start a little project right here, I guess. We'll do it like this, maybe? I don't know. Like this. Like this will be fine. So I'll set up a little bit of a production line. Well, let's just start all the way like this then. Because now we can. Super easy. Explosives are probably in here somewhere. No, they are not. Ah, don't tell me. They need to be made in chemical plants, of course. Well, we have a train carrying all the volcano supplies, except, for some reason... Ah, that's why. Ah, that's dumb. Alright, well, we can fix this, I guess. Yeah, that's just incredibly dumb. I didn't see that there was a real signal there. So it's not too bad, I guess. It's what it is. We can fix that, no problem. But then that means we just don't get the that stuff over here. All right. Well, these things are going to go into a roboport, which also need access to the into a chest. I mean, but then they need access to the roboport. So we'll fix that really quick. We'll fix one over here really quick, and then this should be fine. All right, so we are making explosives over here, and we can actually get rid of some of this, all of these filthy organics. Don't want them here. We don't need this thing that goes into nowhere. All right, so what do we need? We need artillery shells, the explosives, the calcite, the tungsten plates, and radars. So radars we should also try to get over here, but the radars are being made for science, I think. I am not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure we are making them. But if we made them, it's been some time since we did that. Right, and I this is why we mark everything on the map. Because it's just easier to find stuff that way. But I'm pretty sure one of these science packs requires a radar. Or maybe I'm just wrong. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. No, okay, so that is not necessary. And radars then are not being made automatically yet, I think. Alright, so that is another thing that we need to do. But in the meantime, we are going to set up a little production area. So let us make one of these over here. Too bad about the cliff in the way, but we'll drag this out just a little bit more, I suppose. There we go. And there we go. Alright, artillery shells then, therefore. There it is. Alright, so we of course need to unload these. And we'll hook this up and I'll be right back. The production of artillery shells is set up, but we still need to automate a radar. So I think we can relatively easily do that, because the radar is very easy and cheap to make. It just requires iron plates, iron gearballs and electronic circuits. All of those are in fact over here, so we can, and like this is a good opportunity, right, to do this by robot, because yeah, why walk, right? We don't want to walk anymore. We want to do that as little as possible. There is in fact an achievement for building most of your factory by robots, which is kind of nuts, but also just insanely cool. Alright, so we'll set this up like so. And we needed gear wheels. Which will go like that. Iron plates, which we can split from here. And this thing is going to go that way and that way, because then we can go through here. And that is that thing taken care of, and then I'll put the splitter in here. Right, bring this over here. We'll have this thing come in like that. And let's go with the old school small poles, because we can. And of course then we need an output. And we need them to be output into chests so that the robots can access them. And those chests will be limited to 4 slots. Like that. All of them are now set up. We have power. We have materials. These things are producing, and while we are here, we cannot do that. I guess we'll do speed modules, because why not? But this has completely taken up all of our iron plates, because we have our iron ore deficiencies, right? Like, this is just not coming in with the speed that we need it to. And that is because all of our mines are running dry. This one, look at that, another 2 that we don't need, or that we don't properly use. We have 1 mine up here that is still doing good work. Yeah. But we need more. We need to have these things spread out. Like we need to get this one, we need to get that one. I guess that is the direction we will spread in. But in the meantime, artillery shells have finalized. And well, let us actually take the limitations off of these chests. And let us see, we could maybe put productivity in here. Or we cannot. Or we can put speed modules in there. Alright, perfect. And with that, now all we need to do is we need to set up artillery. We also have actually got iron ore over here, 5.6 million. And that will be significantly easier to clear out, I think. Because there are at least to fortify again with just a wall over here. So maybe we're going up north. To make this work, we need to hook up these roboports. We always had them separate from each other. And that worked, that is nice, but yeah, because we had our repair stuff being brought up here, you know, like things like that really help. But like the robots didn't have to go this far, basically. Saves time, energy, etc. But at this point, we need artillery here. And we are going to make a little scalable design, I guess. It's not super difficult, you know, we'll have some artillery turrets, we'll make a little design. Like so. I'll put a substation right there. Of course we need an input. We need requester chests. These requester chests need to request artillery shells. And we are going to request 4 artillery shells per chest, because that will be fine, I guess. Or maybe, let's go with the 5, right? 5 is good. And that is about it. That's all we need to do. And we can copy and paste this a couple of times. This thing will cover this entire area. That will be fine. Down here, we don't have very strong defenses, but let us make a little artillery station over here and then hope that area survives. This thing should be on the way. Auto targeting is enabled, which means that they will be able to freely shoot at everything. Is this what we are looking for? Because I think the artillery turrets should be in the network. That is not an artillery turret. Right, they have not been loaded or unloaded properly over here. So they need to be in the network somewhere. Let's see if I can request artillery turrets. Request 10. On the way, logistics storage has 0. That is weird. That is really strange. Where did my thing go? I had 40. Right? I know I have 40. And they're not here. And they're not in the train. And this one is empty as well. And this thing is just going. And going and going and going and going. Let's say I'll do an item count. Need to have more than 100. Alright, full cargo or 30 seconds passed with at least a cargo of this. That should work. Ah, but that is so weird. Where did my artillery turrets go? They're not in my pocket. Well, somehow everything started working again on Volcanus. We have artillery turrets coming in automatically. I don't know what changed. That is really strange. Normally that never really happens in Factorio. Yeah, that means I can now turn these on again. Because I just dropped everything to fly there and pick up some more by hand, which is ridiculous because there's no way that that should be a thing at this point in the game. But there you have it. Alright, another thing that we could automate really quick is cliff explosives, I think. Unless we haven't researched them yet, but I think we did. There they are. Explosives, barrels, calcite and grenades. Alright, no, that seems a bit complicated. I think we're just going to wait for the artillery to show up. We did have a problem here. These attacks are getting too strong. And that is a problem. So maybe I'm going to run down south and help with the defense over there. That is request some military gear. With this we'll request let's say 600 poison capsules. We'll not request, and we'll request a few of those. Yeah. Oh shit, things just got real. I got here just in time. The artillery is getting angry. I had no idea that this was going to be that quick. Look at that. Alright, and basically, yeah, you can see the artillery shells flying. Things are about to get real here. We are in a serious amount of trouble. Oh crap. Alright. Oh shit. I need to fight with my people here. I need to... Alright. Power. Oh, that works out okay. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Meanwhile, new artillery shells are coming in. Artillery shell is calibrating. Off flies the shells. And in comes the next attack. Boom. Oh man, it's so lovely. And I kind of like seeing them being led through this gully. That's kind of cool. Oh, holy shit. Oh boy. And I was going to maybe set up some... oh boy. I was going to set up maybe some flamethrower turrets here, but I don't even have the time. It also requires extra trains, but it would have been really, really worth it. And the next attack comes in, and this is going to take a while because this artillery has quite the range. Really, honestly, quite the range. Also, let me make a little door for myself here. But this is so nice because we're going to just create so much breathing room here. Right, this entire base is already dead. This base is entirely dead. Off goes the next shell. Clearing out this area over here. Look at that, that is... Alright, I'm going back to base before they eat me alive. Oh man, it's lovely. This is what I've been waiting for. Well, okay, so with this, let us just quickly check the pollution cloud. Like, they are clearing this entire space. We should not have that many more attacks in this area for a while if we clear out these things. And we can do the same over here. And we have the same thing going over here. They're firing hard. They're clearing out biter nests everywhere over here. And of course that means we are getting attacked, but these are actually coming in small manageable groups. So that's not too bad. And these guys are expanding, like really expanding now. You can see how many bases there are on the map. These big ones. Later on we're going to clear this area as well. Oh man. Like when the artillery first starts firing, you're kind of in trouble. Like you need to make sure that your defenses are, you know, are all in order. Because if they are not, you are screwed, because yeah, you get these massive attacks, right? Another base bites the dust. Little biters coming over, preparing for the attack. But I think with this, like, we only have a few small bases. I think this will be manageable, right? Hopefully. We'll see. I'll stay here for a bit and defend this location. But for now, I think this video has been long enough. So thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I'll see you guys for whatever video at the next.